What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 34.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
All right, let's get right into this movie news, my friends. Alan Rickman tribute has teary-eyed fans remembering actors' best roles.
Oh,
there's a ton.
Alan Rickman. Aw.
Yeah. What do you think
Die
is
Hard.
his most popular role?
Probably Professor Snape.
Ooh.
Yes,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's really. I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I was
whether
gonna say,
it's
do you
or
think?
not,
You
I
think
don't
that?
know. Hans Gruber.
I know that's probably
Hans
number
Gruber,
two.
but
Die Hard is
Hans Gruber's
probably
right there.
number two.
but I was gonna say Snape is gonna take it. It's got it casts a much wider net. A much wider
Not
net.
the Metatron.
I love the Metatron. That's my personal favorite. My personal favorite from Dogma,
Yeah,
which is a movie that I cannot watch with a lot of people.
No,
No.
that's a good movie.
I
That's a great
remember I
movie.
saw that movie in the theater. And I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. Some of his movies lately have been kind of hit or miss, and I still enjoy them for what they are. But I remember seeing that movie in the theater, and I worked at a hardware store, and I was talking with somebody I worked with, and this woman came up to me, was like, "I can't believe you saw that movie," and just kind of went off. I said, "Well," she kind of gave me some. She's like, "They did this, that's, that, and the other," and I'm like, "Well, did you see it?" She goes, "No." I said, "Well, then how can you comment on it?" I'm like,
Oh my
"I
God.
saw it."
Oh my
and
God.
I hear what you're saying, but all the things you're saying are not in the movie. You must have read an article somewhere because I saw it, and that's not the case. She's like, "Well, all right, well," and then kind of backtracked a little. But I'm like, you can't. That's
Yeah,
what I
the
have a problem
prerequisite is you have to watch the movie.
with. Right?
You
I
give
have
your,
no problem if
what
you
you
have
want to
pictures
say
or
about it and blah, blah, blah. Make your statement about it. But
Absolutely.
you have to watch the movie.
That's my point. Like, if you want to bash a movie, I don't care. I said from day one, you have the right to say whatever you want. I may not agree with it, but you have the right to say it. But you have to at least see it before you can bash it. Because where are you coming from then?
Welcome to my world.
I was waiting. I was like, Cliff has the next thing to say. I know he does.
Oh, that was
Yeah, I think
Robin
it-
Hood, right?
Oh yeah, he was good in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Love
was
Actually, he's good in too.
Yeah, Love
Oh,
Actually.
He was a great actor, man.
I'd say Snape's the one he probably get the most notoriety
Yes.
recently. But I would put Hans Gruber. I mean, people still quote Hans Gruber.
Yeah, and
nobody-
people-
nobody
Yeah,
quotes
but that
and-
was one movie.
Right,
He
but
was
almost
Snape in
nobody
multiple
quotes Snape.
movies.
You all recognize him as Snape, but nobody quotes Snape.
People
Yeah.
quote Snape.
I
Not
mean,
as much
the
as-
Potter World does. The Potter
The
World.
Potter
does.
World quotes Snape quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, page 294. I get it, but I'm just saying. I'm just. To me,
I was gonna say right, but we're a different generation. Like I think of Hans Gruber first when I think of him, and the Metatron. But I'm well aware that the fact is those 7 or 8 movies,
eight because they split the last book into two.
right? So 8 movies cast a huge net on one of his most well-known performances, and still an excellent performance, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not taking anything away from
And-
it. Maybe,
and
maybe
Gal-
it's a generational thing.
Galaxy, it is a generational thing. Galaxy Quest still gets
So
much praise.
Yes, Galaxy Quest is an
Yeah.
amazing movie,
Yeah.
and he's
that is a
great.
great
in it.
comment.
I almost think, on some level, and he's playing himself in that movie.
I think there's like a little bit that he could take from himself to put into that character, but some of it is like just crazy Trekian stuff, you know.
Well, but I mean, what I'm saying is I almost feel like, not that he felt this way, because I think he had a lot of fun doing that movie. But
Yeah.
the ethos of that character is, I can't believe I'm doing this crap. I'm a Shakespearean trained actor, and I'm doing this, and this is what I get known for. And not that I think he felt that way, but I could see him going, well, this is not necessarily where I wanted my career to go, but I'm enjoying it. But I could be doing, X, Y, and Z.
I think the reality is, if any role could have made him feel that way, it would be Snape, which came later, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But in reality, he seemed to take great joy in every role he had. And anyone you hear talk about working with him, all they do is talk about how wonderful it was to talk to him, his guidance. I mean, like every single thing is so touching that people have to say to him. Like I get teary-eyed every time I think about it.
Well, rest in peace to Alan Rickman. Great actor. You guys, if you haven't watched a lot of his stuff, go on IMDb, look up his name, and watch a few of his.
Oh, Sweeney
his
Todd.
works.
Yeah,
Sweeney
he's in
Todd,
Sweeney
yeah.
I
Todd.
don't remember him
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
know
I mean, he's
in
the
it, right?
villain in Sweeney
Yeah.
Todd.
Is he? I just I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in so long.
He he's singing alongside Johnny Depp and
Classic, man. He's a legend. Super Mario Brothers box office crosses 1 billion. 1 billion. Well.
I mean, congrats.
Congrats, yeah.
We knew it was going to
it's
happen, 2 weeks ago.
I haven't seen this movie yet.
Really?
I haven't either.
I have
It's
not
very
seen
rare
it.
that a movie goes 1 billion and I haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, we talked about this before. It hasn't stopped. It's still going, as we'll see in the box office, the weekend box office. I'm pretty sure every studio now is saying, this is the format. This is how you make it go with all their video game properties.
Mexico.
Yeah. Like, this is what you got to do. Congratulations to them. Good job.
It's probably like a really good format for Mario. You know what I mean? Like, because like think of like Last of Us had its own like episode format that worked very well for that.
Right. And that's why I don't think,
Yeah.
like, Zelda, I don't think should be in the same kind of animation.
No, that should be definitely.
Yeah. I don't think a Metroid should be the same animation.
I could see Metroid in this animation.
Metroid a little more seriouser, though. You know what I mean? Like, this
Maybe.
is more
but
cartoony-ish.
if you look at the second Wreck-It Ralph movie, it's a little more gritty than the first, and I could see it being in that style.
All right.
You know what's hilarious? The way we talk about this, and like, imagine a boardroom discussing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God! Damn,
Like-
we.
Like, I think we sound messy talking about it. I can only imagine how off the wall it sounds like in a boardroom.
All right, we have Mario 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 already planned out. But this, remember, the guy who owns Mario and created him, he's the one in charge of this. So I already know if it wasn't him in charge of this wouldn't have happened. Mario wouldn't have made this much money. They would have went with some kind of live action hybrid type stuff, I think, and it would have flopped. So that's why I'm saying all these other video game IPs at these other studios, I don't know if they're going to fare as well. But that's my opinion. All right, next up, James Bond actor rumors swirl around Game of Thrones star after cryptic post.
I mean, I don't know. I don't love it.
It's going to be another Bond, but who will it be? They really don't want to give it to Idris, do they?
Well, bear with me because I know this is not a popular opinion. James Bond is not a black man. He's Scottish. So if you want to, you have to change his backstory and all that stuff to do it, and they haven't done that. I think
Didn't they establish though that different people can be 007?
I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought that was established in the,
Yeah.
the Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Well, they established 007 can be other people. They did not establish that James Bond can be other people.
Right, but the name of the movie series is 007.
Yeah.
Nah, sort of.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna lean hard into something, we can lean hard into the fact that the series has been called 007.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but I don't know if I.
And also, by the way, there are black people in Scotland. Very few, but one of them can go and become a secret agent.
I'm not disagreeing with you that you can't. If you want to make it him 007, fine. You can't make him James Bond. James Bond is an established character. You can't all of a sudden change him. And I know that's not popular, and I'm sure people are gonna shit on me in the comments.
I mean, I think it's the same discussion of when they try to do a black Superman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And
But there is a black Superman, so that's different.
Yeah.
No, but I
Well,
mean, some people want Kal-El of Krypton, Clark Kent, to be, by a black person, black actor, and You know, people are like, "But why? I don't understand." And then they're like, "Oh, but we have Black Superman. We have the Superman Earth 22. We have
Right.
Val Zod, right?" And then it's like, "Okay, yeah, but I would just want my Superman to be black because
That's why I think it's different. Like, okay, you have Superman, right? But the lore already has a black Superman within it. So say if it didn't, okay, it already has a black Superman within it. So if you cast Kal-El as Black Clark Kent, I think it brings confusion to the lore, is what I think, because the lore already contains Black Superman. And then if he's like, wait a minute, this is Clark Kent, but wait a minute, is that what's his face from Earth 52 or wherever?
okay,
Earth
just
he's
for the
from?
record,
Yeah.
the movie going audience doesn't know,
Yeah, well,
right? So like they don't know.
the
It's just a
majority
matter-
of the movie going audience. You're right.
Yeah,
I don't
the
even think-
no, the vast majority, because let's face it, we should be well aware now that it's not ruled by the comic fans.
No, agreed. That's what I'm saying.
I don't even
What were
think
you
they really
gonna say,
picked the next James Bond. I think this is like a clickbaity article.
Oh, of course, it's
Yeah,
clickbait.
yeah.
This is all
And
very
then I'm like
clickbaity.
looking at
We
it.
clicked on it. We
The
took the
one I-
bait.
Yeah.
The one I wanted when it was like rumored years ago, when Daniel Craig was talking about leaving, was Hiddleston, and that's not going to happen now because he's fully a Marvel guy. His availability is like this big. But yeah, I don't know if you ever saw, what the heck was it called? The Night Manager. It was on FX. It was like a 6-part espionage series, for lack of a better word. He was amazing in it, and I'm like, oh, that's the Hiddleston that you saw. That you wanted to be a Bond. I could see that.
Am I the only one not? Are we not mentioning the elephant in the room? Who should be Bond?
Who?
Cavill.
No. Did you see him in Man?
Come on, Cavill would be a good Bond.
Nah, he doesn't have that smarmy, suave thing about him. He's a good actor, but I just don't believe him. I wouldn't believe him as that.
I could take him as Bond, but you're right. He's not like what I imagine.
I think
I
even a better-
did enjoy The Man from U.N.C.L.E. though.
He's good in it, but he's not. You look at that and you don't go, oh yeah, Bond.
Right.
And if you saw the last Mission Impossible movie,
Yeah. All right. Next
Another contender is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
what about Taron Egerton?
You know I love him, and I love him for Wolverine.
I think he'd be great.
Shout out to Manny, the Hobgoblin Collector. What's good, my friend? Thank you for tuning in.
I think Taron Egerton's because he's young enough. You can do a bunch of them with him. He's got the accent, and he's a slight transition from who were leaving. I just lost his name. The Daniel Craig. He's a slight transition instead of like a 180.
He might be a bit young though.
Yeah, but you can do a young James Bond.
But every Bond he'd be the first one that's that young.
No, he wouldn't,
Well,
because the very first Casino Royale Bond is pretty young.
and
How
I
old?
want to losing names today. The Living Daylights Bond. Dalton was young. when he
Timothy
started,
Dalton.
too. Yeah, he was young when he started too.
As young as Edgerton?
I probably, but
How
you got to
old is
remember people in the
Edgerton?
'80s just age different than we do now.
I guess
You know what I
so.
mean? Like people,
Yeah.
like Wilford Brimley looks older in Cocoon than Tom Cruise does now, and Tom Cruise is older.
Yep.
That's my point.
I mean that's a harsh light for us to cast. A harsh light.
All right. Final story. Will new Universal monster movie set up new universe? Scream 6 directors respond.
Do we have, does
here's
everything
their
have to be a
quote.
universe?
Yes. We're out here right now. We're in Dublin. We're hopefully starting to shoot in a few weeks. It's very fast. It's a Universal monster movie. And that for us is insane that we're making a Universal monster movie. We are, as the guys who brought you Scream 5 and 6, very much fans of original standalone movies. Kids of the 80s and 90s, we miss that. Obviously, that's not really where the world is right now, especially with studio movies. And that's fine because there's other ways to do that. And I think our approach is always, it sounds weird, but that's our approach on Scream 5 and 6. And that's our approach on this one. Let's make this original movie. It's a standalone movie. There's a monster in it. That much is for sure. It's Universal doing their thing where they're they're giving different filmmakers, here, take this and run with it. That for us is exciting as filmmakers to be going into making this movie. It's also really exciting to watch other filmmakers put their stamp on something we know from growing up.
All right, Sam, now read Manny's comment that I have up.
Cavill has the looks, but he doesn't have that drop them honey suave personality.
Okay, I just want to say, every woman I know who's watched The Witcher thinks he's got them drop them panties suave. That's all I'm saying.
Nice.
So Frankenstein is coming out. Remember they tried this Universal monster movie thing.
Who's playing Frankenstein?
We don't know yet.
They don't know yet.
I mean, if they do a whole,
remember the Mummy, the remake of the Mummy. That was supposed to be the first part.
Yes, and it didn't do well
No,
because they relied too heavily on Tom Cruise.
if you want to do a Universal, like everybody, like you're creating a universe. If you want to start with Renfield and do a whole comedic thing where they all come together at the end, and you have an updated kind of Monster Squad thing, I'm in for that.
Actually, I'm in for that too.
I mean, but that's the comedic one. We want a serious
That's
one
fine.
too. I want a serious monster universe.
There-
I don't want it to
there's-
become
there's
some
some- there's
X-Men
some-
Avengers type thing. You know what I mean? I don't want it to become that where all the monsters team up to destroy it. I don't want nothing like that. But I would like a connected universe amongst the Universal monster movies. Anybody else? Anybody else?
I don't have
Don't all
a dog.
raise your hands at once.
Right?
I don't have a dog in this race.
All right. So that's the news for today. Hope you enjoyed that news. Leave a comment. Let us know what story you would like us to cover. Let's get into the
Look at
box.
Larry.
Larry, anybody else? Anybody else? I would like a connected monster universe. Yes, Larry. Jones understands.
We had one with Abbott and Costello.